What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what really moved it and what shorts did today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO went down 3.29%, 396 the low, 419 the high. A little bit of an increase in the volume though, so 69.7 million shares being traded. 43.6 is the average. There was a increase in transactions occurring on the dark pool today. This is often enough used by shorts and other large institutions. So I'll cycle back to this in a second on why this is important. But aside from that though, these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market. So if you kind of piece everything together, it goes to show that big money was really trading it, more specifically hedge funds, I guess, because of the dark pool transactions. Specific to NIO, there wasn't any news, no SEC filings, no speculative topics I haven't brought up in previous videos already. So it was largely just piggybacking off the broader market. Even on a macro standpoint, there wasn't really anything coming out from China to really positively impact NIO. One thing that did kind of push NIO higher slightly in the second half of the day was algos, and that was feeding off of the optimism because of the Trump drama. And Trump was really hellbound on going after Powell, potentially even getting to the initial stages of firing him. So I think White House did a letter to kind of start that process. So we'll wait and see how that does really play out. But nonetheless, the market seems to be very optimistic about that. So potentially that could positively impact NIO, just really drag it higher. So something to keep in mind. But I do see a lot of people on social media say that in the last several trading days, shorts have returned a significant amount. So today was their revenge. That wasn't necessarily fully accurate, because by the end of the day, shorts did return 1.55 million shares. 12.03% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 185.58 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts did return a significant amount today. First thing though, so some people are correct in saying that shorts were trying to get their revenge. So shorts hit NIO hard first thing. So at the peak, they were increasing roughly around 2.8 million shares. So they were kind of the attributing factor why it did go down. So again, some people were accurate in saying that this was their revenge because they wanted to hit NIO more on a technical standpoint. And then throughout the rest of the day, this is ultimately them returning, because in case you do not know, shorts returning, that's adding buying pressure, though that kind of helped NIO move higher. Aside from that, looking at the options, 4.05 million in calls, 1.58 million in puts, 50% of all the options being done today were optimistic in nature. So definitely good to see. So even though big money wasn't really buying the dip as much as a lot of people would have liked ideally today, you do see a lot of optimism associated to just options. From the bull standpoint, you do see a consensus for it to be roughly between that 4 and 450 by Friday, and then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $4. So today the bulls are anticipating that today was just more of a consolidation day, with it closing at 411. It is trading between this R2 and this R1, so 404 is going to be a strong support. 419 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, followed by 445. So NIO did really struggle with this 419, so just watch for that in the next couple trading days. And I was actually going to do a pre-market video on NIO, but there wasn't really any news to kind of combine with this. But I was going to go into today just saying the moral of the story. You really want to watch for 419 to be that key pivot. During the pre-market, it was actually slightly above that. This is probably why shorts did really want to hit NIO hard first, just to break that 419. But aside from that, no new analyst ratings, no articles really coming out associated to NIO. So it's just kind of stuck in limbo on the actual chart itself. So because of today's pullback with a closing at 409, it is still luckily enough above a lot of the key pivotal moving averages. So the 100-day moving average is sitting at right here, the 394. 50-day moving average is sitting at 372. So today's consolidation, yes, is probably a little bit needed for the long-term health of the stock, but it didn't break any of the key points. So I think that's generally a good thing. Stochastic RSI is relatively overbought. So the first sign of weakness or gray, whatever in the broader market, you're going to see some increase in volatility. So I think that was also one attributing factor why some institutions might have been selling NIO NIO, because you saw shorts on a technical standpoint hit NIO, and maybe that just freaked out a lot of institutions possibly. But I do feel like today, and maybe even rolling over into tomorrow, it might be it for the consolidation, and then in theory from there it should really move higher. So just watch for 394, which ultimately it kind of did bounce off of for the low for today. So we do know going forward that's a good support level, but at least on a technical standpoint, things are looking pretty a-okay. So let me know your general thoughts on NIO. Do you think that we're going to be moving higher? Do you think that we're going to be potentially having a short squeeze? Or do you think that shorts are going to have their time in the sun and actually do cause significant damage to NIO? One thing I do want to bring up though is that there was a increase in clearly institutional transactions, because the available shares did kind of jump from about 4.6 to in excess of 10 million. So there's a lot of shares available, and if shorts really wanted to double down, they have more than enough ammunition. So I think they are playing some weird game. Maybe they're giving NIO some false hope to really move higher before they double down. But moral of the story is institutions need to really keep buying up NIO and kind of counter a lot of these manipulative shorts. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, if you are looking for some solid buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.